Hey there, Pete Whittaker here with Melissa Arnott, and we are going to share the logic behind mountain footwear. Melissa, a lot of different boots in front of us here. How do you get started?
Choosing mountaineering boots is one of the most important decisions that you'll make in your mountaineering career, really. And the first question that I often ask people when they have questions, what boots should I wear? Where are you going? Do you need just a lightweight hiking boot? Do you need something that's more compatible with general mountaineering? Or are you going to those highest elevations where you need the warmest boot and those high altitude mountaineering boots?
Good point. Let's start there. I think the largest category is general mountaineering, so let's pull off the super high altitude boot and maybe the trekking boot and just start with these. So 6 different boots here, a lot of different choices. What's the next step?
One of the first things I think about is warmth. You want a boot that's going to be warm enough for wherever you're going, and there is a pretty big range here. You have these single leather boots, which are going to be great for things like Rainier, Shasta, most, lower altitude general mountaineering. And then if you want something that's a little bit warmer, you can go to some of these double boots, which actually offer secondary insulation.
So double boot, let's just make sure that we're understanding exactly what you're talking about. The double boot has an inner boot and then an outer shell. And one of the advantages of an inner boot for on a big expedition, drying them out, you can pull them out, put them in the bottom of your sleeping bag. Also, you pick up the additional warmth with the inner boot as well. And all of these have really super stiff soles. That's for crampon compatibility. So in the general mountaineering category, would you agree a stiff sole's a must?
Stiff sole is mandatory, and you can check just the back heel here and make sure that there's a little lip so that any type of crampon available will fix to any of these boots.
Great, let's go over to the high altitude boots. So this thing is super beefy, super warm, and I've worn these both on Everest and down to Antarctica. When it's super cold, this is the boot you want to be in. Mm-hmm. What makes it different from these other boots?
So it's sort of a combination of what you see in the general mountaineering boot. So you have actually a double leather boot, very similar to the boot we have here. So there's an internal insulated liner, there's an external sturdy leather boot, and then you have additionally a built-in gaiter or over boot for a little bit more warmth and protection on that boot.
Yeah, and I love these. I mean, they have just added insulation on the side and throughout. I've been in some super cold environments and really never had cold toes in these boots.
No, and you'll notice there's a lot of insulation actually in that sole, which is in contact with your crampon where you're losing a lot of heat. So your highest altitude mountaineering boots will typically have a thicker insulated sole.
And you've been up Everest 4 times. Is this a boot you wear?
I've worn that boot every single time.
Cold feet?
Never had cold feet.
Awesome. How about the other end of the spectrum for trekking and more low-level type hiking?
Yeah, so these are the boots you wear when you're happy, right? And there's lots of oxygen around, so you're going to look for a boot that doesn't necessarily need to be crampon compatible. It still does have a fairly stiff sole, protect your feet from rocks, but ankle support is really what I look for in a boot like this.
I agree. Traction, a good traction sole, a good ankle support, and even highly water resistant, maybe even waterproof.
There are a lot of considerations when it comes to mountaineering boots.
Make sure you know the mountain you're going to, and then take the time to get a good fit and go climb it.